Good morning, everybody, and thank you, first of all, for coming out today. What a beautiful day out there. I was up bright and early this morning, and I couldn't believe it, how clear it was. I live at Crescent Beach. I went down to the beach to get some of my thoughts straight, and I couldn't believe what a great place we live in this part of the world. And having traveled a lot, and since I was mayor around the world visiting our kids in different countries in the world, it was just a real pleasure when I always came back here. And there isn't a more beautiful place anywhere in the world. And sometimes we don't appreciate it. So I want to thank all of you for coming out this morning and to listen to my 2019 State of the City address. While I may be the one up here doing the speaking, this speech is about you and all the people who call Surrey home. While there have been changes of late, the one constant is that Surrey is set for brighter times ahead. As your city council, we have been elected to serve you. And before I tell you all the work we have been doing on that front, I want to acknowledge my city council colleagues who are here with us this morning. And what may be a first for Surrey, every councillor elected last fall is brand new to city government. And while they are all new to council, I can tell you that they're bringing fresh ideas to the city. Please join me in a round of applause for the councillors in attendance today. I also want to acknowledge our city staff, led by City Manager Vincent Lalonde. Vincent, I want to commend you, the senior management team, and all of our city staff for the dedication and pride each of you brings to the job of running this great city. Thank you, Vincent, and all the staff. As some of you know, this is not my first time occupying the mayor's office in Surrey. Some people have asked me, Doug, why on earth would you want to come back and do this again? The answer is simple. It is all about moving Surrey forward. Surrey has always been destined for greatness, but what I believe has been ignored in recent times is the will of the people. It seemed to me that the expressed needs and wants of the people were falling on deaf ears, whether it was the big ticket items such as opposition to light rail, remember that, or smaller issues like pay parking around our hospital and City Hall. People were coming up to me and saying that City Council has stopped listening. And that runs counter to the most basic principle of our democracy, that government is based on the will of the people. When I decided to seek office again, my intentions and focus were crystal clear. If I was elected, I would serve in my capacity as mayor to be a messenger for the people, a messenger for the people. That is why I ran on, and that is why my Safe Surrey Coalition team ran on. We made it clear to the voters precisely what we promised to do and what we would carry out if we were elected. In politics, promises are too often broken, conveniently forgotten, or outright ignored. I can tell you, I am firmly committed to carrying out each and every promise. Maybe I'm old school, but when I give my word, I stick to it. I was elected to get things moving and done. Surrey has suffered for far too long from inaction and delays. Take rapid transit, for example. We just received a new addition to Surrey Central Station, and my thanks to TransLink for that. Prior to this, do you know the last time any new rapid transit expansion happened in our city? Let me give you a hint. Mike Harcourt was the premier. The year was 1994. That was when Phase 3 of the Expo line was extended from Scott Road to City Centre. 3 stations were opened at Gateway, Surrey Central, and King George. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a quarter of a century later, and there has not been a single kilometer of new track built in Surrey. In the meantime, a whole generation has passed, and Surrey has gone from being a suburb to BC's second largest city, and soon to be the largest within the next 2 decades. In the last 12 years alone, Surrey's population has increased by more than 100,000 people. So yes, we absolutely need to get moving fast. What we campaigned on clearly resonated with Surrey voters. Our plan to cancel light rail and replace it with SkyTrain was the issue that sparked debate during the campaign. What I heard at the doorsteps and in the meeting halls and the homes were a loud call for SkyTrain for Surrey. To some of you, the switch to SkyTrain may appear to benefit only a portion of the city, but SkyTrain is good for all of Surrey and the entire region. When I was chair of TransLink, I believe that rapid transit should never be about serving a single city. It should be about serving the greater whole. Case in point, the deal to build the Canada Line was done while I was TransLink chair. I understood how important it was to have the Canada Line link the airport to downtown Vancouver and beyond. No one would argue now that the Canada Line hasn't proved its worth for all who live in the region. No doubt this was the right project for the right time. Fast forward to 2019, the right project for the region now is SkyTrain for Surrey. It is Surrey's turn for rapid transit expansion. And while it has taken us decades to get to this point, SkyTrain is now truly a regional mover of people as we extend new service east through Fleetwood, Clayton, and to Langley. I should add that Surrey's new line along Fraser Highway is only the first phase. Future plans have SkyTrain expanding into Newton and ultimately into South Surrey. I have been described as someone who likes to shake things up. There is no disputing there have been changes, and there will be more to come. But I want to be clear, the changes that are happening are not being done for the sake of change. They are being done in the best interests of Surrey and its people. The transition to a city police department is a prime example. As Surrey has changed over the years, the time has come to change how our city is policed. The change I am talking about is accountability. I have said it before, and I'm going to say it again now. I have no quarrel with the men and women of the Surrey RCMP. They have done a good job for us. But the fact remains that Surrey is the largest city in the country that does not have its own police department. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the root of the problem. Without our own city police department, without our own local police board, accountability ultimately lies in Ottawa. By establishing Surrey Police, the accountability will stay in our city with Surrey residents and business owners where it belongs. To the councillors who have stood steadfast with me on our promise to bring city policing to Surrey, I thank you. What we are doing requires political courage. There is no question that the policing transition is a political minefield. I would argue that's the main reason that previous councils have not attempted it before. No politician wants to be on the hook for the initial costs or draw the attention of the critics. Case in point, it is all the talk around costs. There is no shortage of opinions here, no matter how far-fetched some of them may be. The critics bring up the salary savings we currently have with the RCMP versus a unionized city police forces. Fact is, those salary savings would be canceled out in a couple of years because the RCMP are moving to a pay scale that will put them on par with unionized city police. When that happens, those salary increases would be passed down to us, change or not. I have always said there will be a cost attached, and nothing has changed on that front. My view is that it will be around 10% range, and I stand by that. Forming our own city police is the right move for Surrey. When Council unanimously voted to cancel the RCMP contract and transition to a city police department, we did this not out of self-interest, but rather out of the best interests of this city and its people. I would now ask you to turn your attention to the screens to learn more about the Surrey Police.
Surrey has come a long way from its roots as a suburban community of rural settlements. Surrey welcomes up to 1,000 new residents each month, making it one of the fastest growing cities in Canada. It's also a young city, with a quarter of our residents being under the age of 19, and it's a diverse city with many residents speaking languages other than English at home. Surrey shows no signs of slowing down, and community safety is our #1 priority. Yet Surrey is the only major city in Canada that does not have its own police department with its own police board that allows for local accountability and decision-making. Guided by the new police board comprised of representatives from our communities, Surrey Police will deliver strategic solutions to local challenges with more flexibility to adapt vital services as our city continues to grow. Expect to see us soon at or near your neighborhood as we share our vision and provide many ways for you to learn about the transition. We look forward to hearing your ideas for your new police department and learning more about what is most important to you and your family. Visit us online at surreypolice.ca to share your input and learn about upcoming engagement events. This is your city. Help us build and protect our future with the new Surrey Police, a police department that works for you.
The police plan will soon be in the hands of the province, and we will be out soon to share our vision with the people of Surrey. In the coming weeks, we will be asking our residents to tell us which priorities they want to see for their new city police and help guide it into the future. You may have noticed the squad car parked out in the plaza. This is a glimpse of what we have planned for the look of Surrey Police. There is more to do, and I look forward to hearing from our residents as they help us create Surrey Police Department that is accountable to all who we call home in Surrey. I want to take you back to the night we were sworn in as a new city council. The first meeting, usually a ceremonial affair, but not this time around. In a break from tradition, we actually got some work done by moving ahead with SkyTrain and Surrey Police. There was no waiting around for the next council meeting. I believe in constantly looking ahead and moving forward. In other words, I am not interested in getting things done, period. Remember how I said we were elected to carry out the will of the people? Well, I made a checklist of our commitments for you today, and I am going to show you the list right now. It's up on the screen. There it is in black and white. These 2 pages are what my team and I pledge to carry out once in office. This list serves as a daily reminder of my responsibility to the voters who elected me and my Safe Surrey Coalition teammates to City Council. While we have a 4-year term, there is no time like the present to start getting things done. I want to go through this list now and show you what I have been able to check off my to-do list. The first 2 I have already mentioned, and we're done on day 1. TransLink is hard at work on a business plan for Surrey SkyTrain expansion, and that report is expected to be tabled at the Mayor's Council in July. I am very optimistic that we will be ready to go to tender next year with construction beginning in early 2021. As mentioned, the police transition plan will soon be with the province. I can tell you that the plan we have put together is sound. We had one of the finest city police forces in the country, if not the continent, helping us with the transition document. And I want to take a moment to thank the Vancouver Police Board Chair, Mayor Kennedy Stewart, and Vancouver Police Chief, Adam Palmer, for all of their help. I am very confident that the province will like what it sees and that we will have our Surrey police officers patrolling our streets by July 2020. Here are other items checked off my to-do list. Put in free parking around Surrey Memorial and at City Hall. That was done in the first 2 weeks of our term. I wish I had the ability to extend free parking to the lots at Surrey Memorial. Having to worry about pay parking and getting a ticket are the last things anyone needs to think about when seeking medical attention or visiting loved ones at the hospital. While I'm on the topic of saving a few dollars for our citizens, in December, Council approved a 75% discount for our seniors over the age of 70 at all of our recreation centers. The City of Surrey has long led the way in supporting healthy, active aging, and it was a basic common sense that we made this move. When it comes to building permits, the complaint is it takes forever to get one. That was a lot of truth to that, even when I was mayor before. In 2017, the time to get a single-family building permit peaked at more than 25 weeks. I said, we're going to take steps to clean up the backlog in the planning department. As of December, the wait time is down to 15 weeks, and by the end of the year, it will be no more than 10 weeks. While I'm on the topic of permits, I want to briefly talk about the business permits for the retail sale of marijuana. While it may be legal in our country, we are taking a wait-and-see approach when it comes to the sale and growing of marijuana in Surrey. In the meantime, the city bylaw prohibiting the sale of marijuana has not changed and will not change in the foreseeable future. Another thing that will not be happening is any development in our agricultural land reserve. I said that we would keep our ALR lands intact, and I will stick to it. Surrey has been called the City of Parks, and my team and I will continue that legacy. Since last November, when we were elected, the city has purchased more parkland, including, and you may not have heard this, but including 142 acres in Campbell Heights. And we are now exploring the acquisition of more land for green space in Rosemary Heights. This summer, we will be opening a $1.2 million playground in Unwin Park that is designed so everyone can use it regardless of their level of mobility. By the end of the year, a new rugby field house and a covered soccer facility will be open in South Surrey Athletic Park. Plans are in the works to build a world-class track and field stadium at Bear Creek Park and another kabaddi facility in the city. During the election, I also spoke about having more transparency and fairness at City Hall. Therefore, we have established a public engagement task force, and we have started the process to establish an ethics commissioner at City Hall. Another issue that has long been festering in our city is truck parking. Through our truck parking task force, we are working with the industry to identify locations for commercial truck parking within Surrey. I can assure you that unlike past efforts, there will be a resolution this time. Another reason I decided to seek office again was to get a handle on the tremendous growth that has been happening in Surrey. For too long, Surrey has been rampant expansion that has not accounted for basic amenities such as new schools and transportation options. In the last decade, too many developments have been passed by previous councils on a hope and a prayer that schools and transit would eventually catch up. Well, they have not caught up, and the impact is evident. What is needed are some checks and balances on how we manage our growth. I'm not talking about delaying development, but rather having a plan in place when new projects are built. Smart developments make sure the necessary infrastructure and amenities are in place when new projects are completed. In February, we put our smart development into action when Council adopted a phased-in approach for a project in Clayton. This development will be constructed in stages so it aligns with the opening of 2 new elementary schools. I'm going to add one more thing that was not on my list, but it is important to talk about. I was not able to access complete information on the city finances until I took office. When the books were shown to me, I was shocked to see how much debt the city has been carrying. I knew right then and there that we had to take immediate steps to bring the city's fiscal house in order. To continue to mortgage the city's future was irresponsible, and tough decisions had to be made. Thank you to the councillors who had the character and principles to stand with me in making those difficult decisions. As a council, we have the duty to make sure that the taxpayer funds are not wasted and that every dollar is used wisely. The 2019 budget was built on the same basic premise that regular households operate on. Essentially, that we save where we can and spend within our means. As you have seen, the items on my to-do list are either checked off or well underway. If you look at how much we have done in the past 6 months, some might say, Doug, you've earned a break. Why not take your foot off the gas pedal? As far as I'm concerned, we're not in a 100-meter sprint. We are running a marathon. We are on a 4-year course, and there's no rest stops along the way. So what else do we have on the go right now? On the public safety front, the Surrey Gang Enforcement Team launched Bar Watch in December. Long overdue in Surrey, this program will help deter violent criminal activity in the restaurants and bars in our city. And we are just weeks away from launching our SAFE program. This initiative will help our youth and their families steer clear of gangs. Our Surrey Fire Service continues to be a national leader in finding real solutions to the overdose crisis. Their most recent initiative is the Second Responder Program. It's called that because our firefighters' job is not done after the first call to our overdose. They are now following up with a second visit to the individual with the goal of connecting them to continuing care and services. I know it's not your typical firefight work, but it shows the effort that we are making to help make those who need it the most. Instead of Band-Aid solutions, we are looking for long-lasting results. Just look at what has happened on 135A Street in our city center. 1 year ago, this stretch of road was in decay. Today, thanks to the work of the Surrey Outreach Team and others, 135A is clear of makeshift tents, and the homeless are now housed. In partnership with BC Housing, 180 units of temporary modular housing were built in the city center to provide services to people in need, and we are now working on delivering longer-term housing units. On transportation, the city's Traffic Management Center, or TMC, is a prime example of how we are working to improve existing systems. The first for the region, the TMC keeps traffic moving efficiently with the help of over 400 traffic cameras located at intersections across the city. Our 10-year servicing plan for roads features over $1 billion in projects that will enhance and spend our transportation and infrastructure network. It focuses on improving key north-south and east-west corridors to increase capacity and reduce congestion. And while summer is just around the corner, if not started already today, we can forget the cold and snowy winter we just went through. Keeping Surrey roads clear is important to the citizens and to businesses. That is why we launched an app this past winter that tracks our road crews in real time and allows users to see which roads have been plowed and salted. When it comes to green spaces, Surrey will add close to 50 new parks over the next decade to the more than 850 parks that we currently have. Last year alone, we spent close to $16 million to purchase new parkland for Surrey. For recreation amenities, we are putting the finishing touches on the North Surrey Sports and Ice Complex that will bring 3 new sheets of ice to the community. It is slated to open this summer. Surrey libraries continue to offer top-notch service and innovation. In fact, City Center Library was the first library in the country to partner with and receive funding from Google for staffing and scholarships. Construction is underway for a new library and recreation center in Clayton, and we are about to start renovating the existing Cloverdale Library. And since opening last fall, our newly renovated Museum of Surrey continues to set record attendance records. It is no secret that I love where I live, and I know what I am not alone. This is why we launched the Love Where You Live campaign yesterday, which encourages all of us to play a part in keeping our city clean and beautiful. The best place to start is the very block you live or work on, because no action is too small when it comes to keeping our city beautiful. That's why I am asking residents and business owners to roll up your sleeves and get out on your street and pick up the litter. Just do it. 20 minutes a week is the challenge I am putting out to each and every one of you. Just 20 minutes a week. Get out and clean the area around your homes or your business. If we all pitch in, we will create a cleaner, safer, and healthier community for all in Surrey. There are a lot of good things happening in our city, and I can tell you that it has not gone unnoticed. To city staff, I want you to know that I fully recognize the good work that you are doing. Surrey is on the rise because we are not satisfied with the status quo. Let me say that again. We're not satisfied with the status quo. And we are always looking for ways to improve and do things better. For example, why shouldn't construction work on major projects go around the clock? It is done elsewhere around the world, so why not here? We can get a major project like SkyTrain up and running quicker, avoid costly delays, and ultimately save money along the way. I have our city staff looking at how we can implement this for our large infrastructure projects in Surrey. We are also looking to the future and how we can use technology to move people safely and effectively. The work we have done on this front with our partners at the City of Vancouver forms the basis of our submission to Infrastructure Canada's Smart Cities Challenge. Our joint proposal is based on creating 2 collision-free corridors that will be equipped with the latest technology to allow for driverless vehicles. Out of the more than 130 communities from across Canada that have taken part in the Smart Cities Challenge, Surrey and Vancouver together are within the 5 finalists for the $50 million prize. Wish us luck. We will know a week today if we've won. There is a lot happening in our city. I don't want it to stay that way. The value of construction in Surrey topped more than $1.5 billion last year, and we are on track to beat that number this year. Right now, we are more than $250 million ahead of the same period last year. Not surprising when you consider that in city center alone, there are more than 16 high-rise developments in the works. More than ever, companies are choosing Surrey as a business location, including US-based companies. Being next to the border is a major reason why 4 US-based companies, IT companies, have expanded to South Surrey. And we expect more to follow suit. And we will be coming out with an announcement very shortly on one. And just last month, Council gave the final approval for the $175 million Walmart warehouse and distribution center that will be built in Campbell Heights. When finished, the 300,000 square foot facility will employ up to 200 people and distribute fresh and frozen produce to 60 stores throughout BC. There is no question that things are moving in leaps and bounds in Surrey, and why not? After all, we have a clear mandate from the voters. As you have seen this morning, we are delivering on these commitments from our campaign. As your mayor, I am working on your behalf every day. Now I am going to ask something from the people of Surrey. As a longtime resident of this city, I know that we are very fortunate to call Surrey our home. You may see the occasion media report that tries to tell us otherwise. It is funny how the negative stuff, no matter how trivial, takes precedent over all the good things that are happening in our city. The fact is, Surrey is on the move, and our future is bright. So what am I asking from the people of Surrey? It's simple. Take pride in your city. Take pride in the opportunities that are available to you when you step outside your door. Take pride in your community and the street you live on. Take pride in diversity, acceptance, inclusiveness. That is Surrey. You see, when all of us take pride in our city, we are making sure that Surrey continues to rise. And by doing that, we are all playing our part in lifting Surrey to its full potential. Thank you very, very much.